Test, test, test. Is this thing on? Just waiting for the stream to come online. Hello, this is Dave. This is What's Up Dave, my daily stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet, let them know what's going on, talking about subjects like, productivity, projects, design, code, the stuff that I'm doing to try to make a go of life and maintain my creative independence, such as it is. And today I'm going to try something a little different. Instead of just rambling on as I usually do, I'm going to try working with segments. I actually wrote down a little list of things to talk about, and I also have copied it into the stream so people can see it. So today I'm going to be talking about yesterday's progress with the ETP stuff, which is over here. Then I'm going to talk about community building, which is one of my goals this year, followed by the living room cafe update. You can kind of see it behind me. There's the big update to this side of my head. Some like follow-up thoughts on identity / purpose and productivity. That's based on some discussion we had in the coworking chat room. So, without further ado, let's talk about yesterday's progress. And for that, I'm going to go split screen. So, let's see. Here's yesterday's progress. It's kind of a mess in here. Yesterday, is this close enough? Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Yeah. Is that going to focus, though? Maybe not. It's junk camera. Focus. You'd think that would be... Is that actually too close? Maybe this camera doesn't handle that very well. There's probably a minimum height. It's probably going to be as good as it's going to get. So anyway, this is yesterday, Tuesday. I had made a list of things. The healthcare stuff, which I took care of. Some credit card stuff and bills, took care of that. This was the deep work that did not get done. I'll talk about that later. Did a bunch of kitchen chores, tidying up, filled out some registration forms for Hollis Crossing, which I need to drop off today. I should make a note of that. Where's my acetate? It's over here. Let me add that to this. Drop off reg form. That's easy. I'm just gonna drop that off at the condo association mailbox. And I worked on a video script for Dad. This video script is for like how do you use your Macintosh. And I'm going to shoot some screencasts and videos using a program called ScreenFlow. Oh, that might be a big pain in the butt to do, but we'll see how bad it is. At the very least, I have a script I can send him. I could just like supplement with screenshots and then see how that goes. And as far as like what got done, at the top I wrote some habits. The habit of water, that went okay. I should make maybe another... Let me add this to this. Water, diet, sleep. These are habits I want to work on. I should add exercise to that, but let's not overdo it. So I got the stream out of the way, and then it took an hour just to knock off some of these big, like, emotionally huge tasks, like picking verifying that the healthcare plan that I was going to go with, premiums have gone up this year. So now I'm paying like, over $500 a month, as opposed to like, it was like $370 before. But I wasn't sure if I was getting ripped off or not, or if like some of the doctors I started seeing this year were in the network and blah blah blah. But I essentially figured out that the plan that I'm on is probably the cheapest plan I can get if I want to maintain reasonable coverage. I could probably get a worse plan, but there's not much you can do to lower the premiums. The whole point of these premiums is to spread the risk across a lot of people. And so you're kind of buying into a social program. And I can see why people don't like it. Because shouldn't I just be able to buy something that just insures me for what I need to do? Well, it doesn't work that way. At least not in this current system here in the U.S. So I'm kind of sucking it up and just saying, okay, I'm going to do my share and pay into it as long as I can. The alternative is just to drop insurance. and maybe go for some sort of catastrophic plan. But even those plans aren't going to be very good because you're not going to get a good deal on them. These are designed. These insurance plans are designed to cover a broad population of people with various ailments, and all average out so the insurance company can still operate and maybe even eke out a profit at it. I don't know how profitable they are, but anyway, I digress. After that, I worked on registration forms plus, like, oh yeah, there was a discussion we had in the coworking chat room about just doing some form changes. I was talking to a hedge mage in the chat room about that. She has some ideas about how to essentially make a, I'll get into this later, make a form that is designed less for junior level type work. And by junior level, I mean like things like you have a set list of tasks that you need to get out of the way. But you're not so much guiding other tasks, or you're not inventing new things, which is what I call more of a director level task list. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just finish going through this. Then after working on the video script at 3, I was essentially waiting for this package to arrive all day. And that was like a TV that I ordered for my 50th birthday. And then the rest of the day, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 hours was spent just doing research on various solutions, because I kind of had to reorganize the entire living room. And so let's see, that'll be the next thing. Nope, I guess, well, let me just skip 2 and go into 3, then the living room cafe. So, okay, that's strange. Okay, there we go. Living room cafe. If you're not familiar with the living room cafe concept, that's what I was trying to do with this space. Let me just go, can I pick this camera up? Okay. So the original idea was to get away from a traditional living room and have more of a co-working space. And I was going to set everything up with cafe tables, and they're actually behind that white calyx divider over there. But over time, what ended up happening was this turned more into just my regular studio. So I'm just working in here all the time. It's nice up here. It's a comfortable space. I do have that couch back there. That couch breaks up into 2 different... It pulls apart. It's from a company called Lovesac, and it's called their Sactionals, and they break apart into individual units, which is nice because you can reconfigure them and turn them into armless armchairs, or full-size armchairs, or couches, or L shapes and things like that. And they have a lifetime warranty. They're kind of expensive, but I figured it would be good for reconfiguring the space. And they have come in useful for just trying different configurations. But one of the big things I wanted to have for the living room cafe was like a big TV set that would be like up on the wall, where people could, like, we would have our table set up, and then if we were doing presentations, we could have them, put on the big TV. But I've been like, holding off on buying the big TV for like 3 or 4 years. And I've never had a big TV before too. It's only now when the big TV that I wanted with the color characteristics I wanted has become available at a price that I could afford, which is the LG OLED screens. And I haven't even looked at it yet, but let's walk over there and see what we've got. Open it up. Rather, I guess there's a bunch of things I need to do before I plug this thing in. And I'm kind of scared to do it because it's expensive. And I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out, but let me move this thing over there and set this up so we can have a better look at it. Hopefully I don't unplug this by accident. Oops. Okay, is that plugged in? It's kind of dark. I can't really see it either. Let me drop this camera angle down a little bit. I guess that's alright. So let me go to the AuxCam chat view. So this is a 65-inch OLED screen. It's ridiculously large. Why isn't this holding? I have this chair here so it doesn't come flop over. And I haven't even opened it, but it's like the width of this thing is about as wide as my table over there. And I guess you actually lift the whole top of this off. I've removed the straps that hold it in place. But this is big enough that I need 2 people to help me with it. And I actually need a place to put this to figure out where to just set it up. So what I'm thinking about doing is over here, you can see what my space is looking like right now. That's where I usually sit. That whole table, I'm thinking of clearing everything off of it, all the monitors and stuff like this. The PC, I'm thinking about moving upstairs or moving to a separate cart. And then I'm just going to put the TV on this table for now until I get the mounting bracket put up on the wall behind it. And the idea is that this TV has multiple inputs, and you can put 2 1080p displays side by side. And so that could possibly replace those 2 large monitors that are there. And the second monitor on the right, which you can kind of see. Let's see. This monitor on the right is the PC. The PC, as I'm saying, could either go upstairs, or I just plug it in as use the regular auxiliary display over here. This is a special display, though. This is a gaming monitor, which kind of has a high refresh rate. This monitor on the side over here, though, is like a regular, 1080p monitor. They're really cheap, so like my eyes aren't so good, so having a 1080p monitor isn't so bad. I can read it at 1080p. Actually, this is not a 1080p monitor. This is like actually a 1440p monitor, and it's a little bit small, so I just might sell that. It was still relatively cheap, though. It was like $150 or something like that. So replacing these 2 things with the giant monitor behind here on a vertically moving mount is the idea that I have for this. I seem to have lost my... Nope, I didn't lose it. And so I have some stuff ordered. I have this like an inexpensive PC cart. That's the sort of thing that you might see in a school. I also have ordered some Ethernet cable in case I decide to move the PC upstairs. There's no high-speed internet. Or not running Ethernet cable upstairs yet. So I actually had to order a run of stuff, and I can run it from the router up there and then kind of snake it up there. And I think that's about it for the plans. So it's going to take a few days. So I guess I can like live without the PC for a few days. That cable should come in on Thursday or Friday or something like that. And is that right? Yeah. So we'll see about that. So that's the Living Room Cafe update. Figuring out what also to do with this side stuff over here. To the left of the Macintosh is a table. It's kind of hiding this cat litter box over here. But I'm thinking about replacing that with like a big 2-doored bookshelf from IKEA. And so that will become more media storage. Or actually, if I get rid of this table entirely and move this downstairs, once I'm able to get rid of this giant beanbag chair that I've been holding on for a friend, and I'm about done holding on to this thing. I'm going to get rid of it because it makes me unable to actually configure the rest of my house. So I'm going to get rid of it somehow. And then I can move this table downstairs, and this becomes an auxiliary workbench. Work area that's down there. That'll be nice. And then this whole area becomes clear. If I have the PC on the PC cart, let me see if I can pull up that PC card that I'm thinking about getting. Who is calling? I don't know this number. How do I ignore it? Leave a message. Where was I? Oh, I was going to look at that Amazon, that cart that I ordered. So you can find it real quick. What's this in my... I have stuff in my cart. Oh, did I not order the cable? Damn it. I thought I did. I'll just log in here real quick. In the meantime, I'm wondering why I'm low on this table again. No, I'm not sitting close enough. Oh no, the whole thing is sagging. There we go. Lots of technical difficulties today. No, I did not order it. Oh wait, or did I? Oh well, so let me, I'll order that, I guess now. But first let me just find that cart. The order is this presentation cart here. Screen. So this is a little cart that has like steel sides. At least I think that's steel. It looks like it from the construction. It has like a middle shelf here, and then there's a space down here which I think I could put the CPU. This is supposed to be like 19 inches high, and so that should fit the my PC CPU and roll it around. Up here I can put the UPS, and I'm not even going to attach this movable shelf here on the right, and on the top can be a monitor. But this will be the cart that I move things around on. It should have plenty of ventilation, and it should even open up the possibility for doing more interesting setups for my gaming stuff. For example, like if I have everything on this 18-inch wide pedestal here, I could put the joystick in front of it, I could put the monitors on top of it, or I could like have a side-by-side setup, and just kind of wheel it around where it needs to be. I did order some power conditioners too for this TV, something called a series mode surge suppressor, which is apparently better than these metal oxide varistor based UPS units, like the one I have over, this giant one I have over here, just for line conditioning and lightning strike protection. So, you know, this is getting expensive. But if I move this table downstairs, then I can put a center console here. And I could even just move that one that's back there in the center here, get rid of that table there, replace it with the book unit, and then this opens up this whole space again, and I can get back to the whole living room cafe concept. So that's where that is. I think I'm starting to run a little bit long on this. 16 minutes. Let me try to wrap this up real quick, because I'm sure you all have things to do. I'll just screw this up. Let's put at most another 10 minutes. What's next on my list? Community building. This is a very social week for me. On Monday, I was hanging out with an old college friend who I've just reconnected with after, I think, 25 years. He happens to live in this area. He's married now, has kids. But it's still an animation fan. So we've been going and seeing the Studio Ghibli stuff. Ghibli, or however you say it. It's Italian, so... But, you know, the guys who made Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Nausicaa, Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Castle in the Sky Lapita, and we went and saw Howl's Moving Castle on Monday, and it still holds up. It's a beautiful, beautifully framed movie. Although I still would have to say I like the book better, which I read after the movie. But it held up. It held up pretty well. It's wonderfully animated. I remember the first time I saw it, not being all that enthralled with it. But, you know, I actually, there's parts of it that still don't make sense to me, the way that the movie is presented. The script deviates a bit from the book, which is worth reading if you like young adult stuff with magic in it. It's fun. Today I'm going to hang out with this dude that I met at one of the area meetup social things, and so we're just going to hang out and talk about stuff over coffee. And then on Thursday I'm going to hang out with an artist friend of mine who I haven't seen in a while, maybe several months I think. So it's kind of like all these new social energies moving around, figuring out a way to do that. And still have a sense of balance as far as what I'm doing for my own purposes, which is a good segue into the next section. Identity/purpose. I had the thought this morning that I wish I was who I was on purpose. It's a different definition of purpose, of course. It occurs to me, I wish that I knew what I was supposed to be. Maybe that's another way of putting it. And then I know what I would have to do. And I keep thinking that I'm there, and then I decide, maybe I'm not. And maybe that is the nature of my being able to go between these different states or having different purposes. But I do wish that there was some central organizing principle that I could latch on to say, that is my nature. That's the way I am. And moving on to productivity, which is related. One issue for me about productivity is, how do I maintain my sense of motivation and purpose? And this goes into the whole identity thing. This goes into the what am I doing right? I better make sure there's sound. Okay, there is sound. Good. And there's three things that were on my list from yesterday. The first one is just removing friction. Yesterday, I was pretty productive in everything except for getting the deep work done. The deep work is the Thoughtomata project, which is my knowledge management system that will become my blogging system. And I'm writing this from scratch. It's a programming thing. So I'll be learning new things, etc., but there's a lot of moving parts to it, a lot of things I need to learn, and a lot of things I just need to try and fail at before I get to the point when it starts to work. I don't think it will be as bad as I think it is, but there's friction to it. And I would say there's two elements of friction. The first element is just becoming comfortable with the idea that this will take time. And not to think about time. I was talking about this yesterday, as time being an unproductive mindset, or being time aware and being an unproductive mindset. If you're trying to figure something out, you have no idea how long it's going to take you to figure something out. So saying I had to do this in 15 minutes, otherwise I'm wasting time, is a stupid mentality. And this gets into the whole big versus little picture thing. Yesterday in the coworking chat room, let me just pull up the conversation. We have a room called Lyceum, which is where we discuss stuff. Let me switch over to the screen here. So Susan was talking about, she said a topic, Mark. Planning, gathering, accomplishments, and thoughts on how this impacts our organization. She's realizing that a couple important things about her time expenditures have changed over the years in various contexts. There was a point when a very GTD-esque view of the world worked well, when fairly junior in the general sense. You're basically doing to-do lists. But then her life is very different now. It's much less about tracking to-do items, but it's more about tracking things that have been delegated, tracking the state of people, working on projects at a high level, figuring out priorities, deciding what opportunities to jump on, managing lots of communication appointments, and tracking and reporting accomplishments, and making sure the attribution is correct. These are organizational level goals. And I reframed it as there's a difference between being the junior level stuff, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but junior in the sense that your task list is determined by someone else. And it's pretty clear if you do them or you don't do them, because you report to somebody, or there's some reporting mechanism. There's an accountability that you have to be responsible for, versus being a director. And by director, I mean someone who is orchestrating things. And this applies also to people who are in an entrepreneurial position. I'm a self-employed, and I'm also entrepreneurial. So sometimes I have to-do lists. I'm thinking I just need to manage everything. But where I want to be is at the director level. What I want to be doing is setting my own goals and saying, I will go forth and create this thing, and it will create income in the future. And this goes back to the friction. If you are thinking in the junior mentality, and I think time awareness is a junior mentality, versus thinking that I am working through to get these things. I am solving problems that I have never solved before, and we are going to get through the other side, and we will be a stronger organization, and we will be a more capable organization, and we will be ready to handle a host of new opportunities that come along, because we've made them, and we've characterized them, we've studied them, and we know how strats for them. That's where I want to be, but the friction is the daily to-do stuff. I need to fill out my bills, I need to talk to this person about something, I'm delegating a project to somebody, or I'm trying to find someone to delegate a project to, and I don't even know what exactly the project is. So there's going to be discussion involved with that. All these things are how do you maintain a sense of progress for something like that. If you have the time-based mentality, the task-based mentality, that does you no favors, because it only helps you if you already know what you're supposed to be doing. And even though I could say I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm supposed to be developing products, I'm supposed to be doing all these sort of things, that's high-level manager thinking. That's not really that helpful. Yeah, I don't need to spend a lot of time dwelling on that. I need to do this, I need to do that. There are a lot of things that need to be done, and there are different mindsets, and there are different levels of energy that I have. These habits that I've written down, the water habit, the diet habit, the sleep habit, these are designed to help me keep me more at a, I guess, peak physical operating condition. So like sleepiness, grogginess, and general like fatness doesn't keep me from developing the energy that I need. So that's what I'm thinking about these days. I still want to get rid of the taskless, have a taskless, timeless system, and this is where we kind of went into, like, down a little bit more. You can find the coworking chat if you go to my website and go to the virtual-coworking page. You should be able to find it off the home page. So we put this into the Patreon-only studio chat. And we're discussing this here. So anyone who's like a patron or supporting me or is a regular in the chat room, and you earn regular stats by being here for a month, participating continuously, can discuss this there. So I'm looking forward to doing this, working on this, and kind of doing some collaborative design work, because this is something that I need too. And if there's a product that can come out of it, that's great. Speaking of products, like I think this year was kind of a big fail in my product development. So I'm going to have to rethink that. I've also been spending too much money too. So I need to lock that down and, remove all these distractions. And, this is a complicated, for me, it's a complicated blending of identity, purpose, having the energy, having clarity about what I'm doing, and then having the right mindset for it within the context of a community that not only nourishes me, but gives me ideas that I can nourish in return. And that's 10 minutes, so I think I'm going to shut this thing down, and shut it all down, and I'm going to get on to filling out this next thing. No, actually, let me just do that right now, since that would be the thing to do. Oops. Just share my daily startup process, I mean. Alright, so here is the to-do list. I'm going to put Thoughtomata at the top of this. Is this shown on the screen? Yep. Thought. That's the deep work. I'm going to put D next to it for deep. Maybe there's a distinction I can make in the future ones. Is there anything I did? Recycling. I'll put this down here. Drop off. You may notice I'm filling out these things not in order. These are the most important tasks. These are things I regard as like moving me forward on my work. And everything that's a lower priority, they're to be done, but they're not as high priority. Drop off registration form. I'm going to add another to-do list. Here's the order cables, which now they're going to come on Friday. Which means I can't move the PC until then. Everything else is ordered. Everything might come in around Friday or Monday, so that's what I'm looking at. Now, is there anything else on this list? So let me at the top of this. I guess I need to fill out this. It's Wednesday, November 29, 2017. At the top of this, I'm going to use this hour block to remind me of my habits. I'm writing down habits, water, diet. I am back on my bachelor chow diet, which is basic keto, which is eating beans, peas, and lean protein, or rather chicken. And I should add the exercise back in here. I think another thing to do here, this is to, let's make a secondary thing. This is to clear the standing desk. I wish I had those cables. I could go and get and order them. But yeah, just to move all this stuff off the desk. Because I just really want to. Oh, I need to drop by and see Sid. Drop by Sid's studio around 10 or 11. What time is it now? It's 9:27. So Photometer, that's the main, like, deep work that I wanted to do today. And that's really... Is there anything else? Then there's also, like, meet Alex at Spucks. That's around 4. So right now it's, what, 9? So let's say I guess 9 o'clock. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to be going to head out to Starbucks. At least. I shouldn't have written that down. Because I might go to Starbucks earlier. So I think I'll just get this other stuff out of the way first. The recycling, dropping off the registration form. Do a little bit of cleaning, and then head to Starbucks and work on that stuff. Is there anything additional on this that I want to do? Oh, wait, yeah. Paying the printer, I'll do that on Monday. Because I think I'm waiting for this credit card to clear before I go. Property taxes or new car registration, I should do that too. That's like just a mailing thing. Maybe I'll deposit checks as well. I think this is done. Yeah, and this other stuff is more like December things. All right, so that's my task list for today. And I'll just tuck this over here for now. And where do I put this? I'll put this here. I'm looking into having like pockets in the next version of this. And I'll put this back in the drawers under my desk. And now I am done. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a productive day. Noink. 10-second count. Set video countdown to 7 minutes. That's when this video should be available to put on the playlist. And I think everything is done. Let's do a 10-second count. 10, 9, 8, 7. Nope, we're good.